So welcome all once again. Today we are going to see the properties of steel. So in last lecture we have seen the steel manufacturing process, advantages and disadvantages of steel structure. What is the steel structure? Different types of steel structure. So today the properties of steel. So according to IS 800, the properties of steel are, that is, density is 7850 kg per meter cube. That is, which is equals to 78.5 kilonewton per meter cube. The Young's modulus E is, or modulus of velocity, 2 into 10 raised to 5 Newton per mm square. You might have calculated last year. The Poisson's ratio is mu 0.3. Now these are the some designations and types of structural steel. So here you can see standard structural steel and high tensile structural steel and their designations. So in designations it was written something like that, Fe 410A. So basically here you can see Fe means iron, 410 is the ultimate tensile strength, A is the grade of steel, and for W it is weldable or not, that has been shown. In high tensile structural steel, again ST stand for steel. 58 is the that ultimate tensile strength, which is 580 or 550. HT stands for heat treated, and again W stands for welded. So we know the metals are ductile, and we have learned what is the ductility. So it is the ability of material to change the shape without fracture. So in mild steel we have the high ductility, and in high carbon steel we have the low ductility, because as we increase the carbon, the ductility strength increases, but the ductility reduces. Then the toughness and brittle fracture. It is the ability of material to resist the impact load like earthquake, machine load, etc. It requires both strength and ductility. At low temperature, steel fails. So at low temperature, steel fails on impact loading due to reduction in ductility and toughness, called brittle fracture. As we have seen, sometimes people used to freeze the metal, and by hitting with some hammer, or it suddenly shatters. So that might be the that is the phenomenon, that it the at low temperature the ductility reduces. So the temperature, as you have seen in disadvantages, at high temperature the strength of steel has been reduced. Then the corrosion. So the steel corrodes in moist air, seawater, and acid. So we have to adopt the painting, metallic coating, plastic coating, and using corrosion resistant steel to resist the corrosion, that is kind of GI sheets we know. Then the hardness. It is the property of resistance of the material to indentions and scratching. So we have seen the Brinell and Rockwell hardness number to use the measure the hardness. Then fatigue. It is damage of material to the cyclic loading. It is occurred due to moving load or vibration in bridges. Mainly on bridge there is a moving load, and because of it which that fatigue occurs. Then residual stress. So it is a latent stress present in the steel sections due to uneven heating or cooling or during the steel making. So basically it is the residual stress which remains in the steel because of few defects in manufacturing process. The stress concentration. So under loading, the stress is concentrated at places at abrupt changes in geometry, like holes for the bolts. So as we know, if we make some hole in the paper and try to pull it from the two sides, so basically that force has been concentrated, or failure occur from that hole, or cracking starts from that hole only. So same phenomena is occur in the case of steel. If we make a change in some change in geometry, so stress has been concentrated over there. Now the steel sections. So basically steel is rolled to a required shape during the fabrication. So commonly available shapes are I section, T section, channel section, angle section, steel bar, tubes, plates, sheets, strips. So for these and the property of all these sections, we need to refer the structural engineer handbook or steel table for sectional details. Now the common steel members, that is T bar, angle, then tube, wide flange, I beam and channel. So for I section, there are some abbreviations, or we use the common name for the section, that is like ISJB, ISLB, ISMB, ISWB and ISHB. So in that, IS stand for Indian Standard, JB stand for junior beam, LB stand for light beam, MB stand for medium beam, WB for wide flange beam and HB for the heavy beam. You can see all these things and their properties in the steel table. So here is the example, that is ISMB 500 at 0.852 kilonewton per meter. So basically that 500 is the depth and that 0.852 is the weight per unit length of the section. So here you can see that 500 overall depth has been there. So there is a thickness of flange and thickness of web is there, and even width of flanges has been mentioned over here. So here you can see the sections of steel has been used as a beam and column. That I section has been used as a beam and column. Same over here, the floor slab you can see, and floor beams again, then the columns are there. Then the channel section. So again there is a naming like ISLC, ISMC and ISSC, that is light channel, medium channel and special sections. So here you can see the example of ISMC. So basically 300 represents the depth of the section, B is width, and again 0.351 is the weight of that column, weight of that channel per meter. So here again you can see the channel has been used as a beam, even you can use it as a column even in built up sections. So again there is angle section. So there are two types, that is equal angle and unequal angle. They has been mentioned like that ISA 150 150 by 12. So here that 150 and 150 represents the length of two legs of an angle, and 12 is the thickness of that angle. So same way in case of unequal angle, that ISA, that is Indian Standard Angle, 150, that is length of one leg, 115, that is length of another leg, and 12 is the thickness. So here you can see the angle section. For angle section, actually there are four axes, X, Y and U and V, because it tends to flex in four direction. So here you can see the angle sections, and mainly it has been used in a transmission tower. So basically in trusses we used to prefer angle. Now T section. So here ISNT, that is Indian Standard Normal Beam, normal T section, ISHT, that is heavy T, then IS, that is special leg, and ISST is the special leg, and ISLT is the light beam. So here again you can see the depth, T section and width. And other sections are like steel bars, that is ISRO for round bars and ISSQ for the square bar, and steel tubes and steel plates are there. So here you can see some structures by using this steel structure, that is breast frame, movement resisting frame, core and suspended floors, tapered portals, lattice girded, pylon, knee braces, cable stayed bridges, suspension bridges. So the choice of the section. So it is mainly governed by the sectional properties and the availability. So basically in India, ISMB, equal angles, channels are more popular. So channels are used in a purlin, TN angles in truss, and I section in a beam and column. The other forms of sections are like built up, stepped, wide flange, hybrid, cold form, that is formed from light gauge steel straps. So here you can see the steel structure made up from all these steel structural sections. Now the design philosophy. So basically there are three methods, that is working stress method, ultimate stress method, and limit state method. So in working stress method, the stress at which the material starts to yield is taken as a permissible stress of a section. All sections are designed not to exceed the permissible stress. So the permissible stress is taken as the yield stress divided by the factor of safety. So even we are decreasing that yield stress with the help of factor of safety. So since we know the stress strain curve of steel, so steel can resist the more load even after yield point. So following this principle, because we are not following this thing in working stress method, so it results in the bulky and uneconomical sections. Then second is the ultimate load method, that is again called as a plastic design method. So in which the permissible load is a load when all fiber in steel is yielded. So this method does not ensure any serviceability. So in this method we mostly go or push the steel up to ultimate load, that is up to collapse. So again this thing is also not advisable. So in this method the load factor has been introduced. And the last method is limit state method, so which is specified in IS 800 2007. So it takes both serviceability as well as strength into the account. In this method we have the strength factor, material factor also, and the load factor also. So limit state, there are so many limit state. So limit state of serviceability. So here we ensure the minimum deformation, deflection, crack, vibration, corrosion to ensure the aesthetic view, functionality and safety to the partitions, etc. So particularly this thing relates with the serviceability, appearance and even feeling of the user while using the structure. So in that the deflection, vibrations, cracks has been taken care of. The second thing is limit state of strength. So in this the structure should be stable and not collapse under the load. These things has been taken care of. So there are two types of safety factors in the limit state method. There is rho F, which is for the load, and rho M, which is for the material. So as per the Batu syllabus, we are going to see this working stress method, and we are going to use the IS 800 1984 for the working stress method. And for the last unit, which is the plastic design method, for that we are going to use the IS 800 2007 revision. So in this lecture we have learned about the properties of steel, then design philosophies, different steel sections and their use. So if you have any question in this regards, you can put the question in the comment box below. So thank you for the today's lecture.